IVC, Dale Gateful 33 here to do a recent finds video. So there's a few things here that I've picked up, well, some of them as long ago as a year ago, that have been sitting in the inbox or elsewhere. So I thought I'd share them. So first up is a CD, only one CD in this edition. So this is a 4 CD booklet. Gary Crowley's Lost 80s Volume 2. So got this a month ago, I think, maybe or so. When it came out, I pre-ordered it. I had bought a couple of years ago Gary Crowley's Lost 80s. So this Gary Crowley is a writer, journalist, presenter, DJ from sort of 80s and 90s. Was always the one you'd see on kind of music docs or the news asking artists the questions they didn't really want to hear. He was a little bit of a in their face at times, but always kind of, I think, fairly good humoured. And yeah, so the first one I enjoyed it. Wasn't blown away by it, but there's enough in it for me to get the second one, and I think I enjoy the second one a lot more. So he divides, he divides them into sort of sections, themes. The first one is a beat confection, it's called. It's not really beat, because I think it's supposed to be mod, but it's more sophisti-pop, and I'd really like sophisti-pop of the sort of 80s. So yeah, it's got Style Council, Marine Girls, Dolly Mixture, Altered Images, Madness, Swing Out Sister, Blow Monkeys. But he kind of picks the obscure, sometimes not so obscure tracks, and they work together. So I really enjoyed. I played this one rainy Saturday. I played all 4 CDs in a row downstairs in the lounge while my wife was out, and really enjoyed it. So yeah, so I'm glad I picked that up. Next, some singles. Pretty much 3 singles, 3 7-inch singles, kind of all inspired by John 6-inch Pianist. So yeah, I don't pick up a lot of singles. So the first one is one John showed recently, which is Milky Edwards and the Chamberlains doing a couple of David Bowie covers, Moon Age Daydream and Starman. That intrigued me when John showed it. I sort of gave it a listen and really enjoyed it, so I thought I'd snag one of those. And yep, sounds great. So I went, John described it as it's like got that authentic 60s soul sound but doing Bowie covers. And then John last year showed a single from a label, Happy People Recordings or Happy People Music, and they put out loads of stuff. In fact, that's my bugbear with them at the moment. So they put out loads of 7-inch releases and a few album releases, always putting out new music. Unfortunately, never getting it pressed, never getting it sent out. God knows what their backlog's like. So so basically you just have to hang in there, and eventually the stuff arrives. So I bought one single off them last year that I got kind of on release, but with the vinyl pressing plant backlog now, they're still churning out the new songs, and you'll still order them, but they just take a long time to arrive, 6 months, 9 months to arrive. So a couple have arrived, one a while ago, this one, Joe York and the Cooperators, Tonight at the Disco. They're kind of solely reggae feel to them, really good singles. This one's a little bit crackly, it's on black vinyl. What was it, number 17 of 320, so I ordered it pretty much. I've subscribed to their kind of, you get their email feeds, and you get their they come up on my Instagram feed, and I kind of give them a listen, and if I like it, order it. But I'm not going to order any more, I don't think. I've got 1, 2, 3, yeah, I've got 4 LPs that I've had on order for a long time, that haven't turned up yet because I think of the pressing. So I'm just sort of like hanging in there. Eventually one day they'll turn up, I'm sure. I'm not going to cancel them. So that was Joe York and the Cooperators, Tonight at the Disco. On the back it's a dub version of Tonight at the Disco. And then just came last week or so is the Bandulus and Dear Lord back with Flash Flood. This is fantastic. Yeah, fantastic single. But I get number 46 of 101 on the, it says 101, I don't remember it being that many, on a kind of coloured. They do a coloured and a black vinyl release. They were the same price for the coloured and the black vinyl, but now I think they've made the colour vinyl a bit more expensive, a couple of quid extra. So I'll probably, if I bought any more, I'd stick with the black, because I only bought the colour just because, I don't know, it was different. I prefer black vinyl, to be honest. So they're the singles. So thanks John for hooking me up with that Bowie covers single, and last year putting me in sort of, or in touch with Happy People Records, as I say. But I've enjoyed everything they've put out. I just get a bit frustrated that it sits there forever and ever, and they're still churning out 5 or 6 releases a week. If I was really into it, I don't know how many I'd have on backlog. Anyway, stop going on about it, Dale. Get on with it. So now some album finds, or well, mainly online purchases. One find. I'll do the find first. So this was from a local market a few weeks ago. Must have been the beginning of the month. So this is, nothing too exciting. Deja Vu, Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. So I used to have this, and I just never ever want to hear Our House again. It's just a song that, it's a bit twee. And I actually sold my copy. I had a copy on the Atlantic Red and Plum, Orange and Plum label. Sold it. And then I was going through the box. So I think Rob Ison showed the anniversary deluxe. So I was tempted by that, bizarrely. So I've been purged the record because because I didn't quite enjoy it. I was then considering buying the £60-odd deluxe edition, but I didn't. So then I considered buying the alternative version to this. It was a record store day, but it was very expensive, about £35 over here, so I didn't do that either. But then when I was going through some boxes at the market, this was here. I got it for a £5. So the cover's a little bit worn, but the record's in really nice condition, plays really well, and actually I played it and really enjoyed it. Again, I was glad to have it back. So I won't be digging out either of those, or other versions. I think I'm happy with my £5 copy. It'll do for me to play when I'm in the mood. So so that was good. Where are we now? Comp this came out a couple of weeks ago. It's the latest in the sort of Bob Stanley. This is Bob Stanley and Martin Green rather than Bob Stanley and Pete Wiggs on Ace Records. He puts out some fantastic compilations, themed compilations. It's a double album. This is Choctaw Ridge, New Fables of the American South, 1968 to 1973. So it's got, again, sort of obscure-ish tracks put together. As I said, I really enjoyed. I buy. What I normally do is I buy the album. I pre-order the album and the CD. It doesn't come with a download, so I like to play these in the car as well. So. And we did play it when we went on holiday to Somerset, because it just came out the Friday before we went away. So I took the CD on holiday with me and played it. Slightly annoyingly, normally what happens with these is the vinyl copy will have one extra track to the CD copy, so a unique feature of the vinyl is it has an additional track, but this time for some reason they're exactly the same. So I was slightly disappointed about that. I quite like that kind of theme that they've got going on, but now it seems to have stopped. So yeah, so Bob Stanley, Martin Green. So it's got Lee Hazelwood, as you sort of the ones you'd expect: Lee Hazelwood, Tony Joe White, Bobby Gentry are on it. But then there's sort of the songs of that ilk, their ilk, but by Chris Gantry, Dolly Parton, Charlie Rich, Billy Joe Spears, Kenny Rogers, and the first edition, Waylon Jennings. But yeah, it works very well, and yeah, another success. So I've got probably 7 or 8 of these now. Okay, now for something completely different. I got this earlier in the year. It's been in the inbox for a good 4 or 5 months, if not longer. This is the Mud Club and Bottle Blonde. This is punk, surf, garage type album. I think they're an American band, but this was on a UK label. This is on Baby Pink or whatever it's called. They originally came out, the first press of this came out on a Goldie sort of, I guess, Bottle Blonde vinyl. I saw a review of this in Shindig magazine, liked what I saw, checked it out online. It is literally, you know, straight out the, you know, hard punky garage bang. You know, it's a guitarist, a bassist, a drummer. The female vocalist is goes by the name Sadie Morningstar on here, but I don't think that's her real name. Yeah, really kind of, yeah, blows the cobwebs away. I do feel like I've shown this before, but maybe I haven't. If I have, apologies. Yeah, I just spun it again because it had been sitting in the middle bit of the inbox. So records, they come in on that side when they're ready to be reviewed and filed away. They go on that side. But if I'm a little bit undecided, they end up in the middle, and they can end up stuck there for a long time. Yeah, so it got stuck there while I was making my mind up on it. But as did this. So this has been stuck there for a year. So don't know why. This is Yin Yin, the rabbit that hunts tigers. This is, I suppose this is sort of surf rock with that Anatolian, Eastern, Turkish sound that you can only get from Holland. Yeah, so this is from the Netherlands, the band, but a bit like Altin Gun, doing that Eastern surf sound that the Dutch seem to do. This came out on a lovely marbled, slightly semi-translucent vinyl. As I said, I've had it for over a year. I think it came out July last year. I must have got it around time of issue. Didn't quite get the first press of it, I don't think. This is a repress. But yeah, really, it's mostly instrumental with a little bit of either wordless vocals or a little bit of kind of found sound sort of field recording bit stuffs on it, but mostly it's surf garage with that Eastern, say, tinge. Really enjoyed this, yeah, don't know why it's sat in the inbox, in the middle of the inbox for a long time. What we got left? We got a few left, 3 left. This is another one that sat in the inbox for a while. I got this when it came out. I think it came out April, maybe. This is the Corals' latest album, Coral Island. It's a double album. I got it from the band's website. It comes with a booklet, I think. Comes with a booklet. I think mine was signed somewhere as well. So there's the band, the Coral, been going for 20 odd years. I've got all their albums, really enjoy them. Neo Psych, jangly band, and I think they're very underrated. This was on transparent red vinyl. This is a concept album about sort of some Coral Island. It's sort of feels to me like some kind of fun fair holiday destination island that has been abandoned and fallen into sort of disarray, starting to decay, and it's about the kind of like the haunting and the kind of reminiscence of that. I don't know if it's about that or not at all. well, it's got a lot of spoken sort of passages in between the tracks, which are all done so by the Skelly's grandfather. So the choral has got a number of Skelly family members, certainly James and Ian Skelly, I want to say, who have got solo albums by. Nigel, so thank him, doesn't. It'll be here somewhere, but I'm not going to waste your time while at least 2 Skellys plus the Skelly grandfather doing the vocal, sort of the spoken passages between the tracks. So it's a concept album, but yeah, it really works, really interesting. As I said, I like all of the choral stuff. So another album that came out or was released in '96 originally, but has been reissued by one of my favourite labels, Be With Records. Mark and John, who do their Sunday morning after the Saturday night listening sessions, have done the first one they've done for a long time together in person, and Mark was showing this, the Be With reissue. So I pick up pretty much everything Be With Records puts out, and this is sort of neo soul, it's mainly soul ballads. It's a kind of very sort of dreamy, lush, lots of layers, textured soul with guitar, by Lewis Taylor, which is a pseudonym for an English, I think, artist. A little bit of mystery around it, but he released this album certainly, and I bought a single from this album from Record Fair early in the year, Lucky, and yeah, so yeah, really enjoyed listening to the full album, and it's a nice pressing. They've turned, I think, what was a rather thin and horrible sounding single album into a very nice sounding double album, how they repressed it. So yeah, nice, and thoroughly recommend picking that up. And then finally, to finish, is a compilation, another comp. This is on the Ghostbox label, another label that I follow quite avidly now, and they do a lot of, synthesizer, analog, sort of, I guess, yeah, synth, hauntology, krautrocky type music, and John Brooks is part of the label, and this was a charity compilation put out in aid of, or the proceeds to this went to Médecins Sans Frontières, so they brought it out as a digital release last year, all proceeds and profits going to that charity, and it was fantastic digital release. I bought the digital release, and they kind of made some noises about they were going to release it on vinyl, and I was really happy about that, and I've been waiting, and suddenly it appeared, so I grabbed a copy, and yeah, spinning it on vinyl, it was even more enjoyable. So it hasn't got all, so I think the digital release was slightly longer, but to fit it onto vinyl they've had to drop a few tracks to get it to fit it onto a single vinyl album. They've only dropped 1 or 2 that I wished were on here, but mostly they've picked the ones that I really enjoyed, so that's really good. So yeah, so this is called Intermission. As I said, originally it was released as a kind of collecting funds for Médecins Sans Frontières, but now it's come out on vinyl. I'll stop waffling at this point. So yep, that's it. A few things there, varied as normal. Lots still to work my way through, and lots in the stuff I got on holiday, that big collection. Managed to get all the CDs together and put them into plastic wallets and plastic folders, and put the jewel cases in the loft in boxes, so that I've got them put away in my kind of, a lot of them in the B or grade CDs boxes. I've still got that big collection of African and related music that I got earlier in the year to go through. So I'm not wanting for stuff to listen to, I'm just wanting for time to listen to it. But same old complaints from me. Okay, VC, I'll stop off in there. Cheers, bye.